Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that every man wants to understand: how to make a woman think about you nonstop. Let's be honest, there are two kinds of advice out there on this subject. The first kind is complete garbage. Manipulative psychology tricks designed to force attraction or make someone obsess over you in a way that feels fake and forced. Things like ignore her to make her want you more, or act like you don't care so she chases you. This is nonsense. The second kind is based on authenticity and natural attraction, things that make you genuinely memorable without trying to play mind games. That's what we're going to focus on today. The truth is, women don't think about just any guy. They think about the guy who makes them feel something real. And here's the kicker: it's not about looks. Have you ever wondered why a woman can go on a date with a guy who's objectively attractive, but then completely forget about him a few days later? Meanwhile, another guy who maybe isn't traditionally good looking completely stays on her mind. It's because attraction isn't just about what she sees, it's about how she feels when she's around you. If you can tap into that emotional and psychological connection, you'll be the man she can't stop thinking about. So today, I'm going to give you 5 key principles that will naturally make you unforgettable without trying too hard, without being someone you're not, and without resorting to manipulative tricks. And trust me, when you apply these strategies, you won't just be on her mind, you'll be the standard she compares every other guy to. Let's jump in. Before we dive in, tell me, what's something a person has done that made them unforgettable to you? Drop your answers below. The first thing you need to understand about attraction. Before we get into the specific ways to make a woman think about you, let's break down the biggest mistake men make when trying to leave a lasting impression. Mistake 1: trying too hard to impress her. A lot of guys believe that if they can just say the right thing, wear the right outfit, or do something extraordinary, they'll stand out. But here's the truth: women don't remember what you said or did as much as they remember how you made them feel. If you try too hard, it feels inauthentic, and women can sense it. It creates an awkward energy that makes her feel like you're putting on a performance rather than just being yourself. The real key to being unforgettable is understanding the balance between confidence versus cockiness, being sure of yourself without arrogance, engagement versus neediness, showing interest without over-pursuing, mystery, distance, leaving her wanting more without ignoring her. The men who naturally build attraction are the ones who create a dynamic where a woman wants to think about them because they leave an impact on her emotions, not just her eyes. The psychology of why we think about certain people. Ever wondered why certain people just stick in your mind? Think about it. Have you ever met someone briefly, but for some reason, you just couldn't stop thinking about them later? It's because they triggered one of 3 things. 1, emotional resonance. They made you feel something deeply: excitement, curiosity, admiration. 2, intrigue and mystery. They left an impression, but there's still something undiscovered about them. 3, unique connection. They stood out because of the way they made you feel, not because of anything superficial. When you can create these experiences for a woman, she won't be able to help but think about you, even when you're not around. Coming up next in part 2. Now that you understand the foundation of what makes a man truly unforgettable, we're going to dive into the first 2 key principles that will make her think about you nonstop. 1. The power of attentiveness. How to show up in a way most men don't. 2. Why independence is a magnet for attraction. Stay tuned. I'm about to break it all down for you. Before we move on, drop a comment below and tell me, have you ever met someone who left a deep impression on you? What did they do that made them so memorable? Part 2. The first 2 key principles that make you unforgettable. Hey everyone, welcome back. Now that we've laid the foundation of why women think about certain men nonstop, it's time to dive into the first 2 key principles that will make you unforgettable. These aren't just random tips. They are proven psychological triggers that make a woman feel emotionally drawn to you. So if you're tired of being the guy women forget after a date, if you're done with conversations fizzling out, if you want to be the one she remembers, thinks about, and keeps wanting more of, then pay attention, because what I'm about to tell you will change the way women see you. Principle 1. Be attentive. The power of presence. Let me tell you something most men don't realize. A woman will remember a guy who makes her feel seen and heard more than a guy with a 6-pack. Women crave connection, and the fastest way to create that connection is by being present and attentive in a way most men aren't. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, oh great, so I just need to listen more, it's deeper than that. It's about showing a level of presence that makes her feel like she's the only person in the world when she's with you. The big mistake most guys make. Most guys aren't really listening when they talk to a woman. They're either waiting for their turn to speak, thinking about what to say next, trying to impress her instead of actually hearing her. And trust me, women notice. If your conversations are surface level or feel like a job interview, she won't remember you. But if you listen in a way that makes her feel understood and appreciated, she will think about you long after the conversation is over. How to be attentive in a way that stands out. So, how do you do this? Here's a step-by-step breakdown. Lock in eye contact. When she speaks, don't just glance around. Make deep, steady eye contact. This makes her feel like you're genuinely present. Echo and build on what she says. Instead of responding with, oh cool, or that's nice, show that you're really engaged. Her, I just started taking dance classes and I love it. You, that's amazing. What style of dance are you learning? What made you want to try it? When you show genuine curiosity about her passions, she will associate that excitement with you. Remember and bring it up later. If she mentioned something small like her favorite coffee or a childhood memory, bring it up in the future. Example, she tells you she loves chai lattes. A few days later, you text her, tried a chai latte today. I get why you love them. You still think her favorite coffee shop makes the best one? Why this works. It shows her you're not just listening, you're actually retaining and valuing what she says. It makes her feel seen, appreciated, and emotionally connected. And most importantly, it makes you unforgettable. Principle 2. Independence is a magnet for attraction. Nothing kills attraction faster than neediness. Women are drawn to men who have their own life, passions, and purpose. If your entire world revolves around her, she won't think about you. She'll take you for granted. But when you have your own ambitions, interests, and drive, she will think about you constantly. The turnoff. The overly available guy. Let's paint a picture. Imagine you meet a guy who texts you back immediately every time, cancels his own plans to be with you, has nothing going on outside of your relationship. At first, it might seem sweet, but soon it feels clingy, unattractive, and unappealing. Women don't want to be your sole focus. They want to add to your already full life. And that's why independence is so damn attractive. How to show independence without being distant. So, how do you strike the perfect balance? Have your own passions and hobbies. What do you love outside of dating? Sports, fitness, art, business, music, travel, whatever it is, pursue it. A man who is passionate about something radiates confidence and purpose. Don't be available 24/7. If she texts, don't always respond instantly. If you're busy with work or hobbies, let her see that. Women respect a man who is selective with his time. Set boundaries and stick to them. If you have plans, gym, work, friends, self-care, don't cancel just because she's free. Her. Can we hang out tonight? You would love to, but I've got work and gym. Let's do Friday instead. Why this works. It subtly tells her you have priorities. It makes her value your time more. It creates a healthy level of desire. She'll start wondering, when can I see him next? And that's how you make a woman think about you nonstop. Wrapping up part 2. These 2 principles alone will already set you apart from 90% of guys. Be fully present when you're with her. Have your own life when you're not. Master this balance, and you'll naturally become unforgettable. Coming up next in part 3, now that we've covered attentiveness and independence, we're moving on to the next 2 psychological triggers. The gentleman effect, how small gestures leave a lasting impact. The power of non-physical compliments, what most guys get wrong. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Which of these 2 principles do you think is most important? Let me know in the comments below. Part 3, the next 2 psychological triggers that make you unforgettable. Hey everyone, welcome back. Now that we've covered the first 2 principles, being attentive and independent, it's time to move on to the next 2 powerful psychological triggers that will make a woman think about you non-stop. If you missed part 2, go check that out first because it lays the foundation for everything we're talking about today. But if you're ready to take things even further, let's dive in. Principle 3, the gentleman effect, how small gestures leave a lasting impact. Let me tell you something most men get completely wrong. A lot of guys believe that to impress a woman, they need to do something big, flashy, or expensive. They think attraction comes from grand romantic gestures, expensive gifts, or trying to be the bad boy that women secretly want. Run. The reality? Women remember the small things that make them feel special. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to be over the top. You just need to show her through your actions that you're the kind of man she won't find anywhere else. The secret power of thoughtful gestures. Women are wired to notice and remember thoughtful actions. The smallest acts of kindness and care will stick in her mind long after the date is over. For example, scenario 1. You're walking together and it's a little chilly. Most guys do nothing. You take off your jacket and put it around her shoulders. That's a moment she will remember forever. Scenario 2. She casually mentions her favorite coffee order. Most guys forget by the next day. A week later, you surprise her with it. That's how you stand out. Simple ways to show the gentleman effect. Open the door for her. Walk on the outside of the sidewalk, a classic move that makes women feel protected. Text her after a date. Hey, text me when you get home safe. Be polite to the waiter, the bartender, the Uber driver. She's watching how you treat people. Offer your arm when walking together. None of this costs you a thing, but it makes her feel valued. And when a woman feels safe, special, and cared for around you, she will think about you nonstop. Real life story: why women remember the small things. Let me tell you a quick personal story. A friend of mine went on a first date with a guy a few years ago. Nothing crazy, just coffee and a walk. Halfway through, it got windy and she mentioned she was a little cold. What did he do? He casually took off his scarf, wrapped it around her shoulders, and kept walking like it was nothing. Here's the crazy part. She still has that scarf today, and every time she sees it, she thinks of him. That's the power of small, thoughtful gestures. Most guys would have ignored it. Most guys would have missed that tiny moment. But the ones who pay attention and act on it, they become unforgettable. Principle 4. The power of non-physical compliments. What most guys get wrong. Listen up, because this one is a game changer. Most men think that the best way to compliment a woman is to tell her she's beautiful. And yes, physical compliments are nice, but they're also the most forgettable. If she's attractive, she hears it all the time. What she doesn't hear often? Compliments about who she is as a person. And that is how you stand out. Why non-physical compliments work so well. When you compliment a woman in a way that highlights her mind, personality, or energy, it triggers a much deeper emotional response than just saying she looks good. Example 1. Instead of saying, "You're so pretty," say this: "You have an amazing energy. People must love being around you." Why this works? It makes her feel valued beyond her looks. It tells her you see something deeper in her. It makes her feel truly special. Example 2. Instead of saying, "You have beautiful eyes," say this: "You have a way of making people feel comfortable. It's really rare." Why this works? It makes her feel appreciated for something she doesn't normally hear. It's a compliment that feels genuine and not like a pickup line. Example 3. Instead of saying, "You look hot, say this." I love how passionate you are about your interest. It's inspiring. Why this works. It highlights her mind and passions rather than just her appearance. It makes her feel seen in a way that most guys overlook. The science behind it, why this stays in her mind. Psychological studies show that people remember emotional compliments longer than physical ones. Why? Because our brain processes emotion differently than visual stimuli. A physical compliment makes her feel good in the moment. A deep, personal compliment makes her feel valued for who she truly is. And when you do that, she will think about you every time she hears a shallow compliment from another guy. The best non-physical compliments to use. You have a really calming presence. It's refreshing. You're incredibly smart, but in a way that's effortless. I love how passionate you are when you talk about things you care about. You have the kind of energy that makes people feel comfortable instantly. I could listen to you talk about her passion for hours. Try this next time you're with a woman. Watch how she lights up, and more importantly, watch how she remembers you. Wrapping up part 3. Small, thoughtful actions will lead a deeper impact than any flashy move. Non-physical compliments make you stand out from every other guy. Master these 2 principles, and you'll be the guy she keeps thinking about long after the date is over. Coming up next in part 4, we've covered 4 key principles so far. Now it's time for the final game changer. 5. The power of shared experiences. How to create memories she'll never forget. Which non-physical compliment do you think is the most powerful? Drop it in the comments below. Part 4. The final game. Changer. Creating shared experiences that make you unforgettable. Hey everyone, welcome back. We've covered 4 powerful principles so far that will make a woman think about you nonstop. Be attentive, make her feel truly heard. Be independent, show that you have a life outside of her. The gentleman effect, small gestures that make a huge impact. Non-physical compliments. How to make her feel special in a way that stands out. Now, it's time for the final game changer. If you've ever wondered why some people just stay in your mind, why certain moments with someone feel unforgettable, this is why. This final key locks in everything we've talked about so far. It's what turns a fun date into a lasting memory. It's what makes a woman not only think about you, but crave being around you again and again. Let's talk about the power of shared experiences. Principle 5, creating shared experiences. How to be unforgettable. Have you ever noticed that the people you remember the most aren't necessarily the ones you spent the most time with, but the ones you shared unique moments with? Think about it. You probably don't remember every meal you've eaten, but that one incredible spontaneous dinner date with a friend, that's what sticks. You probably don't remember every class you took in school, but that one teacher who made learning fun, who challenged you, who created an experience, that's the one who stays in your mind. The same applies to attraction. The science behind why experiences create deep attraction. Our brains are wired to attach emotions to experiences. When we experience something new, our brains release dopamine, the feel-good chemical. And when that moment is shared with someone else, our brains associate that excitement with the person we're with. So if you want a woman to think about you, even when you're not around, you need to create unique, exciting, and meaningful moments together. How to use this in dating and relationship. Most men take women on the same predictable dates: dinner and a movie, coffee at the same old place, Netflix and chill, worrying, forget. You don't want to be forgettable. You want to be the man who stands out. And that means creating experiences that trigger an emotional response. 3 types of experiences that make a woman think about you nonstop. 1. Try something new together. When you both do something you've never done before, it creates a deeper bond. Example: a cooking class where you make something together. A spontaneous road trip to a place neither of you have been. An escape room where you work as a team. A dance class, even if you suck. It's fun. Why this works. Shared novelty triggers dopamine. When a woman has a great time doing something new, she will associate that excitement with you. She'll think about the experience and you long after it's over. 2. Do something that creates an adrenaline rush. Adrenaline creates a strong emotional imprint. An amusement park. Fear plus fun equals unforgettable experience. Indoor rock climbing. A little challenge builds connection. Ice skating. Fun, playful, and great for creating physical closeness. Go-kart racing. Playful competition equals instant chemistry. Why this works. Studies show that when people experience heightened emotions together, they feel a deeper bond. The thrill makes the memory stronger, and you become part of it. 3. Create inside jokes and unique traditions. Want to really stand out? Have something that's uniquely yours. A funny nickname for each other. A random tradition, like always high-fiving before eating. A song that you claim as your theme song. A silly dare that you always do on dates. Why this works. It creates a private world that only you two share. When something reminds her of that inside joke or tradition, she will think of you. Real life story. How one moment made a guy unforgettable. I know a woman who once went on a date with a guy she really liked, but she wasn't sure how much she wanted to see him again. During their date, they ended up spontaneously walking into a tiny, random bookstore. They spent an hour picking out weird books for each other and laughing at funny book covers. Guess what? That bookstore became their thing. Years later, even after they broke up, she still thought about him every time she passed that bookstore. Why? Because he had created an experience that was unique to them. That is how you become unforgettable. The secret to making a woman think about you nonstop. So now you know the truth. Attraction isn't just about what you say or how you look. It's about how you make her feel. It's about the experiences you create. It's about leaving an imprint that no other guy has left before. Master these 5 principles, and she won't just think about you. She'll miss you. She'll crave your presence. And when you're the man who stands out, you become the man she can't stop thinking about. Final recap: the 5 key principles. Be attentive. Listen in a way that most men don't. One piece of advice I'm thinking about: Kate, be independent. Show that you have a life beyond dating. The gentleman effect: thoughtful gestures that stick in her mind. Non-physical compliments make her feel special in a deeper way. Shared experiences create memories that last forever. Apply these, and you'll be the guy she keeps thinking about long after the date is over. What's the most memorable date you've ever been on? What made it stand out? Drop your answers in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. And remember, when you focus on genuine connection, you don't have to chase women. They will be drawn to you. See you next time.